Well, thank you very much indeed for that, and thank you for the introduction. And it's exciting to be here at the Taxpayers Alliance for my, my first event since being appointed a couple of hours ago. But I want to talk more broadly than just the appointment and the office to which I've just been very kindly appointed. I want to make this argument in the 15 minutes or so we've got available. I think that we won this election in the Conservative Party. We won this election essentially because we won the economic argument. And I think that the shy Tories that we've heard so much about in the post-mortem on the polling that undoubtedly will continue for some time to come, I think that the fact that there were so many shy Tories vindicates the case that good management of the economy and good management of taxpayers' money, and remembering that it always is taxpayers' money, there is no such thing as government money, only taxpayers' money. That is not just right, but it is also popular. And it should give us confidence that when we make the case for reform in government and reform and improvements to the value that we get for taxpayers' money, that that will be not just right, but also popular. But I also want to make the next step in that case, which is that we have just won an unexpected victory with an overall majority of 12 seats in the House of Commons. And we need to concentrate on how we build on this and take the case to places where we didn't win, but we can in future. Places like Halifax, like Chester, the city of my birth, like Newcastle-under-Lyme. These are places where the argument, again, can be won and where we can have future electoral success. So I'd argue that we've got two major tasks ahead of us. Firstly, to consolidate on the understanding that we are the party of economic competence, which clearly is vital and is a historic advantage for our party, but also then to make sure that we deliver for everybody and we take this recovery to every part of our nation. And that is a central argument that we can make. It is a modern and a historic Conservative argument. And now, as the Paymaster General, one of my jobs is to deliver the efficiencies across government that will help to make that surplus that we've promised to happen. And yes, balancing the books is important, but we also need to make this argument, which is about values. It's not just about the economics, it's about the values. Jobs for everybody who wants them. That is a moral mission. Creating a country of full employment is not just about having good statistics and making sure that unemployment as measured is low and falling, but it's also about giving people that opportunity, giving people the chance to better their own lives, have more dignity, more self-worth, more purpose, and the independence that comes from being in work. Similarly, building an enterprise nation and helping people to start up their own businesses. This is not just about a strong economy, it's about the values of aspiration that we support. And increasing ownership, whether it's through the pension reforms or through helping with home ownership. This, again, is not just a dry set of economic statistics, but the value of allowing people to fulfill their own dreams. So that, I think, is the goal that we should have. We have got 5 years ahead of us. It will be a parliament with great challenges, but challenges that we can rise to. We have an incredibly strong manifesto that we're set to deliver. But crucially, we need to have the confidence that all of this is underpinned by a set of values that we as Conservatives both hold dear but know are popular across the country and are right, and we need to get out there and make that case and extend that case to many, many more people. And we've got 5 years in which to do it. Thank you very much.
David Middleton. You said we have 5 years. Do we have to have 5 years? Is it possible to get rid of the fixed parliament arrangement, which suited a coalition, but is hardly appropriate for normal government?
Well, even on the old basis, we still had 5 years. We'd set out that, and we've set out the Fixed Term Parliament Act. It was not in our manifesto to repeal it. And I think that we should concentrate on having this being a 5-year project in order to deliver this recovery, make sure it reaches all parts. I think 5 years is a perfectly reasonable amount of time to expect to run a government for. Madam at the front. It's just, the microphone's just coming.
Hazel Prowse, you can save money by not giving anything to the EU, but I'm interested in the ordinary people who haven't seen the tax reductions. They're often too poor to pay income tax at all. Will you abolish that evil import value-added tax? It's randomly applied on different things, and it's a pain to administer, and it punishes the poor.
I'm reminded of a comment that was made many years ago when a Conservative Chancellor had to disappoint a Conservative conference by announcing that, unfortunately, even if the Conservatives won the election, there would still be taxes. And VAT is, a big revenue raiser, and we still have an enormous hole to fill. But we've been very clear that the biggest burden of filling that needs to fall on controlling spending. And now that I have ministerial responsibility for delivering many of those efficiencies, I feel that even more acutely than I did before. Thank you very much. There's one right, the lady right at the back. I would repeat the question, but I think you heard it. I think that HS2 is a really important project, and I think that it's good value for money. And let me give you, I'm clearly not in entire agreement with my audience here, but let me explain why I think it's so important. The first is, let me answer the question. The first is that HS2, on a business case, provides good value for money. I've seen the business case, and it does. But the second is more important than the first, right? We have got to make sure that this economy works for all parts. And that means all parts of the country being connected. And all of the evidence is clear that, as well as the fact that on the direct benefits, HS2 is good value for money, on the indirect long-term benefits of having a more joined-up country where you can get from one part to another more quickly, HS2 is valuable. And there are countries around the world that have had high-speed train lines for 50 years, and we, as yet, only have one, and it runs to Brussels. I think having a high-speed network right around the country is valuable, not just because of the speed, but also, not just because of the speed, but also because of the capacity problems.
Please. I think on that
Thank you very much indeed.